Storage space. There never seems to be enough of it. No matter how much space you have, it always seems to fill up. Then there's the problem of easily finding what you need. The same is true of computers. As new applications are developed, more space and computing ability is needed. Demands for data storage, computer software, and other applications continue to grow. In ancient times, the 1950s, service bureaus with large mainframe computers allowed access to computer users. Back then, users communicated over telephone lines to a central site where the actual computing was done. PCs arrived in the 70s with the appeal that computer programs and data were no longer tied to a central computing site. Individuals were free to choose their own environment and software. But there are weaknesses to individual computing. Software must be installed, configured, and updated for every individual machine. Another weakness is that sharing data and files depends on what is known as the sneaker net. This is not always reliable. The client-server models of the past offered a central site for sharing data, while users ran programs locally. In the current trend, the focus of computing is once again on distant data centers reached by individuals through the internet. This trend has become known as cloud computing. Cloud computing is more of a concept than an actual thing. The same advantages that attracted people to personal computers are now attracting people to cloud computing. Additional advantages to cloud computing are more mobility and easier data, file, and software sharing. Examples of cloud computing include Google Docs, Adobe Buzzword, and Photoshop Express. Providers of cloud services are iCloud, Dropbox, Amazon, HP, Microsoft, and IBM, just to name a few. As mobile phones and tablets become more popular, the demand for cloud computing continues to grow.
Cloud computing. How does it work? A client computer or device connects to a control node via the internet or local network, which in turn is connected to database storage, application servers, and a network of computers. This is so a client can access or store data on servers that can be located anywhere in the world from any location where a network connection or internet is available. The client or user can use any array of devices to connect to the cloud, such as a personal computer, laptop, smartphone, e-reader, PC tablet, or gaming device. These are used to access the cloud through the internet or local network, depending on which type of cloud is in use at the time. Typically, most users get into the cloud by wireless internet connection. Through the internet, the client connects to a control node, which is a specialized computer that is connected to the data storage and application servers via the internet or network. It is the director of the client to the information or applications they are wanting to access. Database and storage application servers are computer servers where the cloud is connected to data such as address book contacts, music, books, documents, and movies, or it can be connected to applications such as email, calendars, videos and games, software, social networks, or other apps. A very simple example would be Gmail from Google. A client accesses the Gmail application through their device, in this example a smartphone. This connects to the cloud through the 4G wireless network or Wi-Fi. The application server of the cloud is contacted and it gathers the actual data of the email from the data storage and transmits it back to the smartphone where it is displayed. The client can then read and respond to the message, sending it back into the cloud. The cloud is a very simple model that evolved from a basic internal network for sharing data, made possible due to technological advancements and availability of technology so data can be shared from any device anywhere in the world.
As it currently stands today, the largest group of end users that interface with cloud computing are those who take advantage of it for personal use through mobile and internet services. Throughout the past several years, there have been case studies where corporations and small to medium-sized businesses alike have begun to look at the costs and benefits of cloud computing and the turnkey solutions it can provide within their industry.
Great example where I've seen benefits to companies for the cloud. Just from a cost perspective, when I was at a global market research firm, we were using a fully managed provider who was providing tremendous service. But one of the things that we were seeing was the fact that the costs were significantly higher than what we could achieve.
Because of the increased demand for cloud computing over the past 5 years in the corporate space, there are companies that have either established themselves as industry leaders or created divisions within their original business models that allow them to provide services within this realm. CEOs, CMOs, CIOs, and CTOs alike are depending more and more on these companies to provide offerings that they would not be capable of doing on their own. Why else are these companies so excited about cloud computing? Not only because of its immediate cost benefits, but also due in part because of the technology services it can provide to increase return on investment. There are still a handful of companies that have not jumped on the cloud computing bandwagon just yet. These firms are mostly within the financial and medical industries. The reason for this is due to the fact that there are still data security and privacy concerns that have not been properly addressed.
One of the issues that continues to be a problem, but I think will be addressed, is the issue of data privacy.
Mobile computing is relying heavily on it, and so are we for personal use.
All of my photos, my raw images, and my finished work is sitting in the cloud. I happen to use a couple providers, and up until then, I was carrying around 4 or 5, external USB-based terabyte-sized drives.
My objection to cloud computing is the fact that cloud computing is not only the future of computing, it is the present and the entire past.